Alright, what I've got here is the Bible opened up to Joel 2, chapter 2 here. And then, because this has been used so much, this is chapter 8 of Revelation, which is just kind of free floating here so that we can compare it. Now, I want you to see here, these are known as the trumpet judgments, take place in chapter 8. Look at the title for chapter 8 is known as the second trumpet. Now that conveniently fits with the description of what's known as the second cup, which is that millstone. Now you see it being further described as a great flaming mountain. Now as I brought you down here to verse 10, this is being called the third trumpet. But this description here of the third trumpet is really the spiritual understanding of this great mountain of verse 8. You need to notice that they're really describing the same thing, just in two separate ways. We have this great flaming mountain, and then verse 10 describes it now as this great star which is falling from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. It's the same thing. And to understand the second cup, what they're about to bring to this world, this great flaming mountain / asteroid that they're going to bring to the world, is symbolic to them of Lucifer's original fall from heaven. It's being described here as the third trumpet. Okay, because it's not that we have this great mountain which comes from heaven, okay, and then we have another star just like it, and then they both cause the same thing, destruction and then poisoning of the water. That's the key. Because the poisoning of the water is now going to lead us to the spiritual understanding of these fountains of waters that were now poisoned also by this great star. So the second cup is their way to symbolize Lucifer's original fall, being now symbolized at verse 10 is this great star falling. So as we can see, as it were a lamp, this has taken place a long time ago. He's trying to be the light in this world. He's trying to be the spiritual light in the darkness of this world. The darkness is what they have created by hiding the spiritual knowledge and then causing man only to look through the material perception, which is the left hemisphere of the brain, right eye, okay, which is the material shadow, which is what we hear referred to as the valley of the shadow of death, this darkness. All right, so we're dwelling in this material darkness because they have divided the knowledge at the beginning of the Eden event. Now, this is what makes him that lamp. He's trying to be that knowledge in this darkness of the valley of the shadow of death. He's trying to mimic and, in a sense, be the spiritual lead in this world. This is where we tie back up with Joel, which describes it almost in the exact same way. First, a fire devoureth before them, which is where we get the description of verse 2's smoke coming from. Because this smoke is here before this great people. Now we find out what causes this smoke. It's this fire that devoureth before that they can come here. Okay, which will be the second cup. So behind them, just as we know in Revelation, behind them is Apollyon, the beast that cometh out of the earth, that is being symbolized now as a flame that burneth. Okay, he is going to be the source for the fire, smoke, and brimstone of Revelation chapter 9 that comes out of their mouth. Also the very same fire, smoke, and brimstone of Job chapter 41 that is coming out of Leviathan's mouth. And even the locusts are symbolized there in Job chapter 41 with the fire, smoke, and brimstone also. So I want you to see that there's always a deeper understanding to what's going on here. So this is going to be Apollyon, the flame that burns behind them. Okay? And Apollyon has tried to destroy the waters. In other words, his symbolism as being Leviathan, now he's in the waters. The sea serpent has polluted the waters, and he's made them bitter. And this is where we get a twofold description of the wormwood also. I'll be back.